to do a video why focusing on blood tests as a complete marker of health or a diet, or even just focusing on diet as the main way to promote health is stupid. Okay, Frank Tufano did a thing where he read his blood results. Now I'm going to read my blood results. The reason I looked like crap in my last video, I was literally just released from the cardiac unit of the local hospital and found out that I had what's called aortic regurgitation, which is probably due to a lack of physical exercise. And that's the thing is, and I'm gonna get into the damnation of medicine. For example, a close personal friend of mine was coughing up blood for weeks and was told that she had pneumonia and was given antibiotics and eventually had a pulmonary embolism. I've been taking care of that person, and of course the stress has gotten to me quite a bit. But what's interesting is this aortic regurgitation has caused many rapid heartbeats and things like this, which have been brushed off as panic attacks for over 20 years for me. And what's interesting is after an echocardiogram, they found minor aortic regurgitation causing these palpitations and things like that. But I'm going to read my blood results. Now, I've been vegan for a lot longer than Frank Tufano has been a carnivore. Okay, now I'm going to get to this. My cholesterol, the range is 100 to 200. Mine was 101. My triglycerides were a little high. The range is 41 to 139. Mine was 161. My LDL, however, was only 22 out of a range of, the optimal is considered 100. Mine was 22, or under 100, I should say. The HDL was 35 to 80 is the range. Mine was 47, so I have a very good ratio of HDL to LDL. My hemoglobin A1C was 5.5 out of a range of 5.7 to 6.4. And I only put down the things that people would find most interesting and understand. My albumin, which is protein, was 4.0 out of a range of 3.2 to 5.2. My sodium was 1 point high out of a range of 133 to 145. My potassium was 3.3 to 5. My potassium, crap, I didn't write that down. My potassium was within range, though. Everything was within range. My carbon dioxide was slightly high by 0.8. The range is 22 to 29. My total protein was actually in a very high range of normal. Out of a range of 5.9 to 8.4, mine was 7.2, and I hardly eat any protein in my diet, any animal protein, and I don't favor legumes and things like that. I eat a lot of starches, okay, and fruit. My point is this. My point is that you can't look to diet as the sole means of encouraging health, and if anything, these things show a damnation of the U.S. medical establishment. I, for one, I know full well that psychiatry is a fake form of medicine. I will flat out say that psychiatry is a phony form of medicine. As for what happened to my close personal friend that I'm taking care of that had the pulmonary embolism, the thing is, what happens is people look to things. For example, the wrong test was called to rule out a clot. They needed a scan with contrast, and they ordered a regular scan, and it looked like pneumonia. And this shows the unintelligent way in which doctors operate in the United States, and it shows a need for better regulation by the federal government and more strict standards on doctors operating with some damned intelligence. However, what I want to point out is what irks me so much about the carnivore diet is the absolute idiocy and the conspiratorial nature of everybody's out to get the carnivore diet. Everybody's lying. The thing is, if you're going to be a conspiracy theorist, that's great. The problem is, with plant-based diets, what is well known is when you put somebody on a plant-based diet in clinic, they get better. The other thing is, looking to diet as the only means, or even the primary means, to promote health is stupid. It is you need a complete lifestyle to promote complete health. Now that's what people need to understand. It's not about what you're eating or how much you're eating, or I should say, it's not only about that. It's also about how much are you exercising, how much are you getting outside, how is your social life. Things of this nature promote health. And this is what is known through the blue zones, through the Loma Linda research, and all this stuff. The problem is people want to believe that they're always at the cutting edge of what makes them the healthiest. And as anybody would tell you, I've had these heart palpitations to the point when I was a teenager, I would even faint at some points. That was so bad. Luckily, that went away. Although I do get horribly, horribly bad tachycardia issues that I'm going to have to see a cardiologist about. But my point is this, like anybody that knew me at my heyday in karate will tell you, like when I helped a friend run the black belt test, you have to do a 3-mile run. I did a 3-mile run in 21 minutes, that's like a 7-minute mile. You know, I was not out of shape, I was still having these issues. And at that time, I was not a vegan or a vegetarian. I was following a bodybuilder style diet, such as what would be promoted by, what's-his-face, Joe Weider. So my point is that this idiocy that diet is the key to health, because a lot of these carnivore people, like that Latvian dude whose name I can't pronounce because it's ridiculous, that promote you should stand around and sit around and do nothing because you are master, you are alpha. Sitting around causes things like what I have, because I developed this through working in an office setting and things of that nature. And it also causes things like blood clots and pulmonary embolisms and things like that. So this idea that you can eat all the crap food that is deleterious to health, such as meat, and that you can just sit around and be muscular, which is not true, and that you're not going to get sick by simply eating all the meat you want and nothing else, and not exercising, is completely, it is really stupid, is what it is. And it's really dangerous, and it's really sad that people are following these people.